Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, today we're going to be talking about Star Trek Lower Decks episode Veri-Toes, Veritas, meaning truth. So, meaning truth. So, basically, it was a mock trial, and I can understand that, but as you can see, I don't have on my Star Trek uniform shirt today because I just couldn't. I just couldn't. It's one big gripe I have about this episode. I have several, but first let's go into the canon of the episode. I had to take some notes because it was just so much. It was so much, y'all. It was a lot. So when it first comes on, when the first episode first comes on, in the actual story part, they're thrown into a jail. All right. Now, anybody who follows Star Trek, the first thought that they had was, oh, they're in the Klingon jail because everything was set up to a Klingon, except for the Klingons. And when I seen the Klingons, I was thinking to myself, did they just go back to did they go to the Kelvin timeline or Discovery Klingons or something like this? Are they making a joke? But I try not to give spoilers away, but the way that it came up, it reminded, the way that they were raised on the platform and the whole setup reminded me of Star Trek The Undiscovered Country, where Bones and Kirk was on trial. That whole setup, from the judge, everything, from the General Chang type dude who was even saying the star dates like General Chang, had the eye patch, everything, So let me just get right into it. Let me get right into it. That is not a Romulan bird of prey. There has never been a Romulan bird of prey. There's only been a Romulan warbird. From the first time that ship design was introduced, and I think the original series episode, Balance of Terror, it has always been a Romulan warbird. But for some strange reason, they keep wanting to give it a Klingon title. The Klingon bird of prey is a totally different aircraft. Badass in its own rights, but it is not a warbird. And a warbird, it is not a bird of prey. I mean, look, there was a time back in the original series and a little bit before then, as far as canon goes, where believe it or not, the Romulans and the Klingons were kind of allies against the Federation. Okay, and they share technology, hence the cloaking devices, but they didn't share ship names, and that's that. The whole episode, I couldn't get into the whole episode because that was just irritating me. Every time they said, hey, this is a warbird. I mean, it's a bird of prey. No, it's not. It's a warbird. It is a warbird. Look at Balance of Terror. So, like I said, veritas means, it's a Greek word for meaning truth. Okay, now, Roga Danar, for those of you who do not know who Roga Danar is, when they were talking about who were the badasses in Trek, and they were talking about Roga Danar, and they were talking about Khan Noonien Singh. All right. Now, Roga Danar is from an episode called, what was it? I know I wrote this down, man. I normally have it, The Hunted, from the original series. I mean, from the Next Generation. Roga Danar is a badass and one of the only people who I've seen outsmart Data, okay? But he is no Khan. He is no Khan. He's a badass, but he's no Khan, all right? So I don't even know why they was even having that conversation. Now, I like that they said that the only thing to do on Earth is visit a vineyard or go to a soul food restaurant, because it's only really since the Next Generation, it's only been like really 3 places that we've ever seen when they've ever went back to Earth. There's been Captain Sisko's dad's restaurant. That's been Captain Picard's family vineyard, and that's been Starfleet. We rarely ever see anything else on Earth, so that was pretty cool how they put that in there. So Mariner was at the position of what normally is ops, and she was told to send a message. Now, neither messages. Well, I'm pretty sure she can send them. I've seen Data send messages from ops, but not fire phasers. That's usually a tactical type of thing. So having Mariner shoot it, that was a little weird. The neutral zone being neutral. The neutral zone ain't never been neutral. Just like the demilitarized zone ain't never been demilitarized. Think of any demilitarized zone. When is it ever demilitarized? That's the biggest oxymoron if I ever heard one. Man, but look, So Ruther has this device on the side of his face that he says is made by Vulcans, which is weird because I've never seen that technology on Vulcan. But since when did Ruther's Vulcan thing start acting like the Matrix? Hey, you got something that you could program into your personality with this? Yeah. Yeah. And to have it so ineffective that it downloads and knocks you out all the time. Get out of here with that. So I like though that during Ruther's story that they had that little montage when he comes online. It reminded me of RoboCop, the first RoboCop, whenever they was trying to fix him, and he'll come online with that from his first person's point of view. So that was cool. Spock and Spock. Really, we're gonna reference the Kelvin timeline, the J.J. Abrams. No, don't ever do that. That instantly loses me in any Star Trek that you do. Whenever you put Bad Robot, the Kelvin timeline, or anything else that got to do with my Prime Universe, you done lost me. It's gone. So the fan dance, really, you heard his fan dance. That's what we're gonna go from Star Trek 5. That crazy. Now let me tell you, a lot of people talk about that fan dance as being probably the worst part in Star Trek 5, but nobody can deny. Look at those legs. Look at those legs and waist your got. I like from the first time she was shown in Star Trek to the fan dance, and then the fan dance, I think she had to be in the late 40s, early 50s. But damn, look. Your hair has always been fine. Look at some of your hair. Look at some of your Nichelle Nichols in some of the old blaxploitation movies. You didn't notice she played in other things besides Star Trek, did you? Oh man, and she was fine. Anyway, I missed seeing her this year, and I know next year she's gonna be going on she's gonna be retiring because of medical issues, and that really hurt my heart, So, by the way, no human can beat a group of Gorn. Kirk, one of the baddest hand-to-hand fighters in Star Trek, had a hard time with a Gorn, and he didn't do it hand-to-hand. He made a freaking cannon. Look, so let me tell you about Tendy's story. I got the biggest kick out of Tendy's story because Tendy's story had Blade. Okay, so I got to be quick because YouTube don't like me putting on real long videos. So I'm going to do a part 2. I'm going to do a part 2 to this. So we'll talk about Tendy's story in part 2. So stay tuned. Have a good one.